Hi everyone, I'm Lorenzo Murzilli, co-founder of DroneTalks, and today at Commercial UAV Expo here in Las Vegas, I have the honor and privilege to be with Justin Steinke from Spright, SVP of Commercial Operations. Hi Justin, how are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. So let's talk about Spright first. For those who don't know the company, what are you guys doing? What's your space?
Yeah, so Spright's a subsidiary of Air Method. So our parent company does all the air evac, air medical operations. We've got about 450 helicopters and 327 bases around the US. And Spright is the unmanned systems division of that company. So our focus is on moving goods and services in the healthcare space. Obviously, we're a healthcare company. 99.9% of what Air Methods does is the movement of people. So we have a lot of opportunity to work with pharmacies and labs and hospitals to work with a better supply chain and move things like lab samples more efficiently through the system. So
that's awesome. That's fantastic. And how do you see the industry in the healthcare industry going on like these days? Is it hot? Is it still in the infancy?
It's a hot place, but everybody really wants to see kind of proof in the pudding, right? They have to see everything work. They want to make sure it works. When you're carrying something that's valuable like blood samples or whole blood, it's important that it gets from A to B correctly and it gets there right on time. So we're still making sure that we can deliver all of that and we've got the right technology and the right approach to all of it. So obviously we're an aviation company who specializes in air services. So this is really a nice place for us to operate in, but you have a very skeptical community that really wants drones to work, and they've been working with us because we're a professional organization that knows that side of the business to actually put that stuff into place.
It's awesome. And speaking about like hurdles to progress, like how do you see those? Is it always regulation, or is there more than regulation?
That's a good question. I think, I've been in this space for about 10 years, and I think 10 years ago, I would have told you that all the technology was ready and we were going to do it, right? But the technology really wasn't ready back then, and it's still really, in its infancy now. So if you look at something like the type certification process, as you know really well, they're looking for data and information on these systems and their reliability, and a lot of the companies that are here are still new companies, so it's still a new industry with new technology. I think the short answer to your question is that the biggest challenge is always going to be regulatory, but in all fairness to the FAA, people aren't bringing really good data packages to the FAA saying, here's why we think we should certify it or why we're safe. So we're an aviation company, we understand that process, we understand the give and take, and so we're doing what we can to solve that problem. But I think technology is still advancing and still maturing, and regulations are slowly falling behind, which is why we're doing a lot of work with you in Europe and other places as well.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Europe. It seems to become more and more hot as a market, also for plenty of American companies that are coming over to the old continent. And why is that? How do you see the market evolving?
The easy answer is because, as you know, the FAA certifies the aircraft and Europe certifies the operator. So we're a Part 135 operator with the standard 135 certificate, and so that's our big difference to most of the operators in the US. Being able to take that and put that into the European system is not very complicated. So it's pretty easy to take our manuals and configure them for the European standard and then self-certify the aircraft. So we think it's a faster route to market. It's a faster way for us to actually collect data to bring back to the FAA to be able to show what we're doing and be able to demonstrate that capability and that reliability. So it's part of a larger strategy, but the short answer is because I think we'll fly faster in Europe.
That's great. That's fantastic. Let's talk about future prospects. Like 3 years from now, 5 years from now, is BVLOS something that you're going to reach finally? How? And if not, like what do you think is the business? How do you think actually that the business is going to evolve in this time frame?
I think in 5 years you'll see BVLOS for sure. I think every country is going to be a little different. Everyone's taking a little different approach to it. There are countries like Poland where ADS-B out is a really easy solution to everything, and everybody's doing the same thing. So it's very uniform. So BVLOS there is happening today, and I think it'll continue to grow. There's other countries where they take a very risk-based approach, and Germany is a good example of there's an acceptable level of risk, and so if we are talking to all the right stakeholders and we have all the right technology, then you can get BVLOS, and that's not hard to achieve. The US is a little bit more disjointed and challenging to work in, but I would say in 5 years we'll be able to do this at scale, and that's what we expect to do.
That's fantastic. Well, Justin, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure, and we'll see you around.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.